Greetings, my loved ones, and welcome to Affirm Peace, our community journal of life where everyone's story is meaningful. Of course, I am your hostess, Rebirth, aka Tam B, and we are here on another amazing show with another wonderful guest, but we will get to that soon here. You know, we have to go through our mental health check in questions. You can journal these while the show is going on. You can speak them to yourself. You can DM me if you want to talk about it with somebody. You know, this is a safe space, and we are here to grow and help each other in any way, shape, or form. So, the first question is, how are you feeling today? Is there anything from yesterday that is bothering you today? Your second question is, what thoughts are running through your mind? Your third question is, how does your body feel? And the fourth question, you know it's my favorite, what or who do you need to support your mental health today? So like I said, go ahead and do what you will with those because we need those throughout our day just to reflect and refresh our minds and come back to and continue to go within so we know how to check our mental. So, without further ado, I'm going to have my special guest introduce herself and let you know a little bit about herself. Go ahead, my dear.
Hi, my name is Emmalyn Schroeder. I usually go by Emmy. I'm an actor full time as well as a voice actor and a print model, and I'm also an author and a podcast host as well.
Wrong. You've been acting for what, maybe 17, 18 years?
Yes,
Okay.
yep, around
Okay.
that.
And out of all of that, oh, that is a wow. That is awesome. Kudos to you. I love that. What has been your favorite role so far?
So, in my theater days, it probably would have been when I was in The Sound of Music, the musical, as one of the seven children, Brigitte. And that was kind of my like first supporting role. And I really just enjoyed it. I was in seventh grade at the time, and that was through the theater company that I was a part of, and I just really enjoyed it. So that one was super special to my heart. And then, probably for film, I was in a short film directed by Eric Willis called One Last Sunrise, which is about a woman with breast cancer. And it's just kind of the process of how she finds out she has cancer, her finding lumps and breasts and everything. And, it's just kind of the um, overwhelming struggle of how that diagnosis can affect someone's life. And I've had multiple people in my life affected by cancer, so it was a very special project for me, and I still keep it very close to my heart to this day.
That's awesome. Now, is that out for people to view already?
Yes, it is on YouTube, and it's linked in my in social medias as well.
Awesome. I'm gonna have to check that out. That's that one when you had the reels going and you went bald.
Yes, yep, that's the
Okay,
one.
yes,
Yeah.
awesome. I'm gonna have to check that out. I've been wondering. I just didn't never go back
Yeah,
and look.
yeah.
That is awesome. Okay, so did you go to school for acting?
So, I went to school, or I went to the one year that I went to college. I did do acting there. They didn't really have a film acting department. It was mostly theater again, and so I. At that point, then I wanted to transition to film, and there really isn't a lot of opportunities in Kansas, or especially where I was at. So I, then transitioned to the film scene in Kansas City, and at that point, just started booking roles. So,
Awesome.
yeah.
That's wonderful. So now, was acting your first, like, you know how when we're a child, we always want, I want to be this or I want to be that or this and that. And then, so was acting your first career choice as a child or what did you want to be?
Yes, I would say so. I did grow up in a household where um my parents wanted me to have a plan B, or something to fall back on. I didn't really think of actually doing it professionally until I hit college. I think I just was like, oh, it's just for fun, it's just for fun. But when I started taking it seriously, it really became such a passion of mine.
Okay. That is awesome. I love that. Just to go with the flow. I love
Yeah.
that. Do you have any other goals or hobbies?
I'm also a competitive figure skater, so that would be a hobby that I do pretty regularly.
Okay.
Yeah.
What made you get into figure skating?
Well, I always wanted to be a skater when I was growing up, but we lived about 2 hours away. I would even say 3 hours away from the closest rink. So we would only go like maybe once or twice a year. And then I always loved watching figure skating Olympics and stuff like that. And so around about a year ago in January of 2025, I was like going through my New Year's resolutions and I wanted to start a new hobby and I chose figure skating. So I found a local rink to me and I signed up for learn to skate lessons. And then about 4 months in, I got a private coach and started working on competition stuff. I had my first local competition last year, and then my first actual US figure skating competition is less than a month away. So I'm pretty excited about that.
Oh, that is awesome. I love
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
Will it be broadcast anywhere or
I believe it will be live streamed.
okay.
I'll keep up with that on my socials as well. And then I know usually I share the videos after the fact as well.
Yes, okay. I know I did see I think oh my goodness. I seen one of the believe it was a competition that you were in. It
Uh-huh.
was so cute. I loved it. I was like, "Oh,
Thank
look
you.
at
Thank you. Yeah.
her."
Yeah.
I love seeing people take on new activities and new hobbies and new goals and just going with the gusto and
Yeah.
putting their all
Yeah.
into it. I think it's something so beautiful. So kudos
Yeah.
to you on that. That is
Thank you.
awesome.
Thank you.
Yeah, of course. Um, now, you are a wife of a former, correct?
Yes.
How is that?
Um, I it is interesting. I definitely I didn't I mean, I grew up in the country, so like I at least knew country life. I didn't really grow up farming or anything. And then when we moved to Kansas, I met my now husband in high school my freshman year, and we became pretty close friends. And then we started dating our sophomore year of high school. And yeah, it I learned a lot, probably the first 4 years of dating, just with everything. And I would say opposites really do attract, especially for us. We're very, very different, but it's he supports what I do, and yeah, I obviously support his career choice as well. It is a very demanding job. He works extreme hours, sometimes 80 hours a week, and so I don't really see him a lot, and sometimes his job will take him out of state and stuff. Other than that, though, he is a very hard worker, and that shows in his dedication to his career, I think.
Yeah, I think that's beautiful. Y'all are high school sweethearts, and
Yeah,
y'all
yep,
keep that, and y'all keep that individuality, and you still make it work. That is something truly
yeah.
beautiful. I love that.
Because, I think getting together really young. We kind of talked about it in the past. We aren't sure we would recommend getting married as young as we did. He was 18 and I was 19, because growing up together is very difficult. But it's also what brought us so much closer. I think just growing through different stages of life together brought us really close, and so I feel like we have a pretty good advantage on that end as well. And we have now been married for 4 years. So,
Okay,
yeah.
I love that. Awesome. Now I'm gonna jump back into figure skating. The form life just hopped up in my head.
Yes.
So now, would you like to land a role as a figure skater on a
Yes,
film or anything?
oh
Okay.
my gosh, that would be a dream. I actually auditioned last year for one of my favorite book series that is a hockey figure skater romance series, and it was being turned into a TV show on Prime. And of course, I think I made it to maybe two or three casting sessions, and then after that, didn't receive a call back. But at least it was super exciting to have an audition for that big of a production.
Right.
Um, So that was really fun. I
Cool.
hope to someday because that would just be so fun.
Yes, it's gonna happen. I know you're not gonna
Yes,
stop until you
fingers
get it,
crossed.
so it's gonna
It's gonna happen.
happen. Oh man. So you said that you're an author. Talk to us about your books. What are your books?
Yes. Okay. So, I wrote a book series called Sweetgrass Flats.
Okay.
It is a old-fashioned book series, and it's set in the late 1800s, and it is kind of hallmarky, very innocent. There's no cursing, there's no anything like that. I wanted to keep it super chill so that anyone could read it. From teenagers to older ladies, older people, who knows, but I wanted to make sure that it was such a broad range for people. And it's also a book genre that I tend to really enjoy. I grew up with the love for Little House on the Prairie books and the TV shows, and that inspiration I think turned into me wanting to write a historical romance book series.
Mm-hmm.
And then I kind of just went from there. So Sweetgrass Flats is a fictional town in Kansas in the late 1880s ish. And there are 10 books in the series, and all the characters kind of intertwine together throughout the series. All of the books can be read as standalones, so you don't necessarily have to read them in order. It does help though, because like I said, some characters will come in from the previous book. So yeah, it was super fun to write, and I've had lots of good reactions so far. So
Good.
yeah,
Yeah. How many books is it?
there's 10 books in the series.
Okay, awesome.
Yeah.
And when did you start writing it?
So I secretly started writing in I would say like beginning to middle of 2024. I didn't really see it going anywhere. It was kind of just me. I honestly wanted to just write something for myself to read because I was like, I see all these books, I really like them, but I think I could do it too and maybe add something that I know I would want to read in the book. And a lot of that is, instant love, over the top romance. Obviously, not probably historically accurate, especially for the time period, and that they are mail order brides. So, historically, I'm sure it wasn't as perfect as I'm writing it to be, but I really enjoyed the genre, so that's where I went with it. And then I did end up writing a paranormal romance for Christmas, about a month, obviously in November to December, and that was my first little branch in another direction. I was getting like requests for a paranormal romance, so I don't know. I really enjoyed writing it. I would be interested in continuing to do more of them, but um, yeah, we'll see how that goes as well.
That is awesome. I love that. Let's check you out.
Yeah.
So now when it comes to acting, what is actually you can do acting or the book writing with this question. What is your favorite task when it comes to that, and what is your least favorite task when it comes to either or?
Hmm. For writing, the easiest thing for me is to think of titles and character names and where I want the book to go.
Okay.
But my least favorite task for that one is, unfortunately, I'm really bad at keeping the point of views um, in the same way throughout the entire book. So I will tend to accidentally write in first perspective and then switch to second or third perspective. And then I have to go back and be like, no, 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 I'm writing from the character's perspective, not from someone watching the character.
Right.
So that would be the hardest thing for me with that. For film, um, my favorite task would be really digging into deep and emotional characters where there's such a range of emotions. I love to show so many sides of human emotions, um, that I think that would help people relate to certain things. So I really love that. I guess the hard thing, or my least favorite task with that, would probably just be the driving. I live about 3 hours away when I'm not living in Kansas City for a job. So if I do
Oh,
get a 1 day job, it would be the long drive to get to that job.
totally.
But otherwise, I
Totally.
love what I do. So
Yes, totally understandable. Sometimes you get those gigs and it's just like, really, we gotta. Okay,
right.
I love what I do.
Yes, yes.
Now, when it comes to character development, and either one that you want to speak about, what are some challenges that that you encounter when it comes to character development? Let's go with acting. So, say for instance, you want to now. Would you ever want to develop your own script?
I've never really thought about it. I was in a podcast interview a few weeks ago, and that was brought up as well. I've never really thought about it. I think it would be really, really cool.
Yeah,
I just don't even know where to start with that kind of stuff. And I do really enjoy being behind the camera.
yeah.
Or I'm sorry, in front of the
The
camera.
camera.
No, I enjoy being the actor.
I,
And so right now, I want to continue doing that right now. But eventually, I think that'd be really fun.
okay. So, what are your challenges with character development when you are researching either a role or something of that nature?
Yeah. Um, I would say my least favorite task is that what you asked? Sorry, can you repeat the question?
No, your any challenges that you have
Challenge.
when it comes to character development.
Yeah. So I would say like I usually, when I look at a script or a character, I kind of get in my head about what I view the character doing, saying, acting.
Hmm.
And so sometimes, the director or the writer's view on the character is much different.
Hmm.
So then just kind of, tweaking the character together with, the team and just kind of deciding where we want to go with the character. I would say that would be the biggest thing because like when I read a script, I'm like, oh yeah, that's how what they wrote it. That's how they want me to do it. And then it's happened where I'm like, okay, so you want me to play it like this character, and they're like, oh, actually, that's funny that you brought that up, but no, I want you to act in this direction. And so then it's like, okay, well, I'm glad we had that talk before I just got in front of the camera and did it my way.
Right, exactly. And you would think sometimes that would be one of the main things that they would want you give you a brief synopsis of how
Right,
they want you to portray the character, but you don't always get that.
right.
Yeah. Now I have a little bit of a deeper question for you.
Yes.
Do you have any limiting beliefs when it comes to your acting?
Can you expand on that? Like on what you mean?
So, like, do you have any, like, does anything come up as far as self doubts, or you feel that you won't be able to accomplish this, or you feel that that it's going to be an extreme challenge for you to actually portray a certain role, and you get in your head and you feel that it may not, nothing's going to happen, any type of limiting beliefs in that next sector?
Um, I would say I'm pretty good with taking on challenging roles, but probably the one that is, I mean, really, 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 really hard for me is when a character that I'm playing is so deeply different than what my moral beliefs are. Um, I am autistic, so it is really hard for me to like place my values aside and act in a way that I would hate acting like in my day to day.
Yeah.
Um, and I feel like I've played one role like that where it was extremely challenging and mentally draining to act like such a despicable person.
Hmm.
So that's really really hard. But I enjoy that I had the experience. Um, but it was very very difficult for me to, and in fact the day prior I wasn't sure if I could make it in at all to film the feature. So because it really just didn't represent what I felt or thought or believed at all.
Yeah.
And so I was afraid that people would look at that role and then look at me and then say like, is this how she believes?
Right.
Is this how she is? So I would say that would be the biggest thing, and especially since that film is now starting to get reviews in, and like I'm just constantly anxious that they're going to bring up my character. But if I was a reviewer, I definitely would have brought up my character, so it is 100% reasonable for them to be bringing that up. I just wish I could come back and say no, I promise it wasn't me, it wasn't me.
Well, you know what, and that's one of the most difficult things with actors is just when you are portraying a character and people don't truly understand, like, no, I am an actor.
Yeah. Yeah,
This is
exactly.
not always what I believe in, but sometimes it's difficult for people to think that because they feel that a lot of actors would not take on something that or doesn't fit their morals or doesn't fit their beliefs or something of that nature, when a lot of us do take
Yeah.
on a lot of those roles that
Right.
we really don't care or particularly, that fits our lifestyle. um,
Right. Right.
is there, how many of those roles have you taken on? And with that, with you actually doing that role, do you feel it is something that you will continue on, or will you start putting your foot down, like, no, this does not match my morals
I
or
don't
my
think
beliefs?
I don't think I can actually ever do what I did. Um, I I was not given a script prior to accepting the role and signing a contract. Um, I didn't have an agency at the time or anything, so I was kind of just accepting roles left and right. And they were like, "Oh, you're going to be the lead. You're going to be a lead in a feature film," and I was super excited. But I didn't receive a copy of the script, and I'd already signed the contract. And so at that point, it was far too late. But at this point in my life, I don't think I would accept a role like that. I think there are different routes that I'm fine taking. It's just I think there's a hard line when it comes to racism and kind of just all that kind of stuff that I don't want to touch any of that.
Right,
I did it one time and I was like, never mind. No, not for me. That's
right,
not the role I want to play. That's not who I want to portray. And it's so vastly different from who I am as a
right.
person that it
Definitely.
makes me sick to my stomach to play that kind of character. So I don't think I would ever kind of touch that side of a character again. I think there are different types of characters that I would love to, portray. Just definitely not that kind of character again, I think.
If you, I don't know if you want to share the name of the
Sure.
show.
Um, yeah, it was a feature film. It is a good movie. I
Okay.
will say it's pretty funny. If you took out my character, just throw me out the window, and the movie is 100%. It is very funny. It's a mockumentary style movie. It's called Heathens, so it's about a coven of witches, modern day witchcraft, basically. It is a very good movie, and the script was well written. I just did not expect my character to be so blatantly racist,
Mm,
and then just racist to every single demographic. And it was very, very, very hard for me. And I, again, the movie is really good. My character was necessary to the plot line. I just definitely disagreed with a lot of the scenes I had to portray. But it is a good movie, and it's about to make the festival circuit. Again, it is getting really good reviews. There are some reviews where it mentions doesn't mention my character by name, but basically says there are some times where the jokes are stooping really low, and that sounded like improv that went on for too long, and so stuff like that. And um, again, I think the movie is funny. It's good. But I did not like my character at all. But
and you have the right to not like your character, because there's some characters
yeah,
I didn't like.
right.
So I agree with you wholeheartedly. I actually seen that on your IMBD, and I was like, I wonder what's that gonna be about.
Yeah, yeah. It's funny if you like crude jokes. I think again it's they were trying to really go into the direction of a 80s, 90s, early 2000s comedy style. And I think that's okay, but with the way our world is, especially right now, I think those jokes just did not land in the way that at least the director, I believe, thought. And I could be totally wrong. But in the premiere, there was everyone, and anytime my character would say something, you would hear the reaction from the crowd. Ooh, oh, ooh, and I'd be like, oh, I
Like,
know, I'm
no,
sorry.
why do I have to say this?
Yeah, yeah. But the filming was really fun. I got to work with a lot of amazing people, and I I would say I don't know if I would do it again, but I definitely am glad that I had that experience.
That is awesome. So I'm going to go more into a lifestyle question as far as, especially with you beginning to act so early. Um, did your autism actually have any counter effects to anything? Or now I love people on the spectrum. I actually made me love you even more. So so wholeheartedly, you have no idea. But
Yeah.
did it have any counter effects? Did you experience any adversaries or anything of that nature when you were younger, when your teenage years, and even now?
Would say it was actually more of a superpower when it comes to acting. When it comes to autism, especially autism in females, it is much harder to get diagnosed.
Yeah,
I was undiagnosed till, for quite a while. I was a pretty, I had a lot of like issues with relaying how I was feeling and stuff like that. But in other ways, like, yes, it did have such a big thing in my life, but at the same time, it was allowing me to have an outlet as well, a creative outlet. And I'm able to relate to a lot of different people and have different conversations with a lot of different people. I don't tend to be very shy around people, and I love honest conversations. And I would say it really just, you know, they say theater is, a theater kid, weird kids, and I really found my place. And I was, heavily bullied in, fifth grade through eighth grade. And so having that outlet at the time was very, very helpful. And then I would say, in high school, it was difficult because the community that I moved to was only 500 people. So if you were even just a little bit different, it was a very, very big deal.
yeah,
So I know people didn't say anything to my face, but I know that there was a lot of things said behind my back and that I was too much or too loud. And I was very serious about my acting. So I think when I when I got the leads in all the plays in high school and stuff, I was very, very serious about it because I wanted a scholarship to a college. Um, and so I feel like I could have taken it down a notch. But I just get so serious in it and I love what I do. But I don't think it hinders my ability to do any of it. I do think it actually makes it better. I will say there is one thing, and that's if I need to do any work with fake blood or anything like that, it does take me like 30 seconds after they put the fake blood on me to just not freak out about the texture or anything. But after that, and I just, go into my character, I can move on from it. And that's my only like a little annoyance. But other than that, yeah.
like you said, it is truly your superpower, and don't ever lower your voice or dim your light for nobody. Let that shine, honey.
Yeah. And I definitely feel that now. I definitely have grown into that, just loving myself a lot more and not
Yeah,
really caring what anyone else to say. So I think that I like now, I'm just like to my little sister who's in high school. I'm so different because I'm just like, well, don't listen. Just literally forget what they're saying. Like,
exactly,
literally don't listen to them. But, it is harder for other people to just forget about things. So,
exactly.
yeah.
Yeah. Love and authenticity are the the biggest frequencies that we can truly be on. And if you are truly
Yes.
authentic with yourself and express your authenticity and you combine that with love, honey, you are a force to be reckoned with. Sure.
Yes,
I love
yes. And with autism, especially in females, masking is very like it's very prevalent. So I feel like throughout my entire life I kept that side of me very, very secret until about college when I really accepted that I was autistic and it's okay. I'm okay. Like and it honestly was a relief because I was like, okay, so there's an answer. There's a reason why this is happening. And it just gave me so much more confidence because I wasn't questioning why am I like this? What is going on with me? Why am I not normal? And so when I got that label almost, no one lots of people don't like labels, but for me it was so helpful to put something to what was going on,
Right.
and that really helped me. So
Most definitely, because you understand, you have that feeling. It's like, why am I feeling this way?
yeah,
So
yeah,
it's just like to actually, like you said, put that label on it. It's just like, okay, well, and that's where it is, and that's where we're going with it. So
yeah,
accept me or not, here I am.
exactly, exactly. Yeah.
Okay, I love it. So do you have any, like, say you've had a rough day or something that was just like extremely bothering you? Do you have any sources of relief or any type of any other outlets that you utilize to calm yourself down or bring yourself to peace when you've had one of those rough days?
Um, I I find that being active really helps me. So I love jogging or going on walks. I love group exercise classes because I just feel so good afterwards. And I know it costs a little extra money, but it motivates me to get there to actually go. And I'm with friends, I'm with like-minded folks when we're doing yoga and relaxing for an hour. And it's just yeah, that's what I love to do.
Yeah.
I also love to read in my spare time and yeah, spending time with my dogs or my husband or my family.
I love that. That is awesome. Okay, so now we're going to get into this piece where I asked everyone, what are two of your most favorite words in the whole wide world and your definition of those words?
Yeah, okay. So let's see. I would say my two favorite words would be loyal because loyalty is really, really important to me and I I love showing loyalty to others as well. That's like one of my love languages. I know it's not like a love language technically, but showing people that you would be there through anything and for someone to do the same for me is super important. I love that word.
Yes, that is a beautiful word. I love that one too.
Unique.
Okay.
I love the word unique. I want to make it not a, diss. I don't want people, I always was told in a very passive aggressive way, you're really unique. You're
Mm,
really special. Oh, you're so unique. And, it's so passive aggressive that you're like, oh, they're saying a compliment, but at the same time, their tone is really off. So
exactly.
I want to change how that word is used. I think I just want to in a more positive way, I would say.
Hmm. Okay. In my eyes, unique is a positive word, and the fact that they were utilizing it like that towards you kind of ruffles my feathers the wrong
Yeah.
way. Seriously, because unique is a beautiful word because I love unique and I love weird. Those, like, if you call me either one of those, I'm saying thank you. I appreciate that because yes, I am, and I'm going to stay that way always because if I'm weird, that means I'm not like you and I stand out from everybody else. And I am
Yes.
not a cookie cutter and I am not following in the same space where everybody else is. So thank you
Yeah.
so much. Oh, I
Yeah.
love that. Awesome. Thank you. You are unique. You are beautifully unique.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
You too.
Thank you. All right, so we are going to get into our mental health check-in questions. Are you ready for those?
Yes.
Okay, awesome. All right, the first one. How are you feeling today? And is there anything from yesterday that is bothering you today?
I'm feeling pretty good today. I don't think there's anything from yesterday that's bothering me. I've spent yesterday and today filming for my podcast and editing stuff like that. And
Okay.
again, I think that would be another creative outlet for me as well. So I've honestly had a good past 2 days.
You know what? I forgot to ask about that. What is the name of your podcast?
It's called After the Echo. It is a true crime podcast and then a listener submission episode on Friday. So it's True Crime Tuesdays and then Your Echoed Tale on Fridays. And so my first episode was just an intro video that came out today. The second video is coming out tomorrow, which is my first true crime episode, and it is a case where I worked directly with the victim's family. And the missing girl went missing at 14 in 1985 in Kansas City. So I've been working directly with her mom, and so that's been really impactful. So I'm super excited to see where this path leads.
Yes, I am too. You're gonna have to send me the link so I can do some
Yes.
sharing and everything for you. I would
Yes.
love
Yeah.
that. That is awesome. Yes,
Thank
most
you. Thank you.
definitely. You're so welcome. And then question two. Forgot
Mhm.
we're on mental health check.
Yeah.
Question two. What thoughts are running through your mind?
The first one would be that my cat is scratching at the door in the other room, and I can't focus because she just is scratching at the door. That's the first thing, because she just won't stop scratching. I don't know if you can hear it, but I hope you can't,
No, I
because
can't.
anyway, so that's the first thing. But some other things I would say, I am feeling really grateful today just for kind of where I'm at in life. I kind of took a break from acting last year a little bit. There was some drama in 2024 that I wanted to step away from for a bit. So getting back into acting again has been really fun.
Yeah,
So yeah, I'm really just chilling.
awesome. No, well, we cannot hear your cat.
Yes. Okay. Good. Good.
Oh, that's so funny. Oh, those cats, I tell you, my son wants a cat, and I'm like, no.
No. No.
All right, question three. How does your body feel?
um. Today I feel pretty good. My back is hurting a little bit. I have a condition that I kind of spazzed out in like November because I was training for my rental recital for figure skating and I hurt my back.
Hmm.
So it's kind of been in the process of healing, and so if I overdo it too much, then it kind of hurts. But other than that, I'm feeling pretty good.
And now, how did you hurt? What did you hurt exactly on your back? How did you hurt it
So
exactly?
I have spondylolisthesis, which is, for me, it was a birth defect. For other people, it can be developed. I also have spinal stenosis, and I've broken my tailbone multiple times. Had seizures from like sixth grade year to, well, I'm sorry, seventh grade year to last year. Was I haven't had a seizure in 10 months, so I fell a lot growing up.
Okay.
I broke my tailbone multiple times. When I fell on the ice in November, I somehow, well, I didn't even the I like tried to do a lunge and I rotated my pelvis, and for my back specifically it was very like a wrong move, and I immediately felt that that was, not good for my body.
Mm-hmm.
And then after that I pushed it to get to the competition or the recital, because I had been training for so long at that point that I didn't want to stop. So I continued to push it for like a month, and then after the recital I went to the ER, and it kind of got bad there for a bit, but things are looking better now. So
You are, girl, you are just full of, and you just keep going, and I just love it. Goodness
thank you. Thank
gracious,
you.
you are a superhero. Quit playing.
Thank you.
You're welcome. All right, and then the fourth question, and my most favorite: what or who do you need to support your mental health today?
Mm, Probably after this podcast, I'm going to give my mom a call. Just chat with her,
Yeah.
or a daily chat. And also my husband. He's always just my emotional support blanket, I tell everybody, because he is just there for me for everything. I hope I can do that for him too. But when he gets home, it's the best part of my day because we just hang out
Yeah.
and we're basically best friends. And so we just have fun like I would with any other of my friends. So,
That's
yeah.
awesome. Y'all are best friends, honey. Y'all high school sweethearts.
Yeah, exactly, exactly.
Yes, I love it. Well, this has been a joy, and to getting to know you more, and you just made me love you even more. So thank you so
Thank
much
you.
for coming on the show today. This was truly beautiful. So right now, this is going to be what they call your shameless promotion. I want you to go ahead and put out all your socials, any websites, wherever they can go and find your work, and put in your books, your acting, your podcast, everything that you do. Go for it.
Okay. You can find me on any social media under Emmalyn Schroeder. That's EMMALYN Schroeder, SCHROEDER. On Instagram, it's Emmalyn.b. And then Facebook is Emmalyn Schroeder. TikTok is Emmalyn Schroeder. My pen name for my books is Emmy Lou and Sweetgrass Flats. So if you just search those two, you'll find my books. Um, And then let's see, After the Echo is my true crime podcast. You can find that on all social media, either 8ATE podcast or After the Echo podcast, as well as on YouTube, and hopefully here soon on Spotify and iHeartRadio.
Awesome sauce. I love it. You're just a plethora of amazingness. I love
Thank you.
you are so welcome. Like I said again, thank you so much for coming on the show. I truly appreciate you. And to my loved ones out there, thank you so much for tuning in to Affirm Peace for another amazing guest on our show today. And always remember, we don't beg, we don't chase, we embrace with grace. And always remember to affirm your peace. If no one has told you today, I love you, you are amazing, you are beautiful, you are handsome, and you can do anything that you aspire to do. You got this. Let's go and go out there and be great. We out.